If you're in the market for a chilled out, adults only resort in Corfu, then this is a resort for you. Hey, it's Mimi from Find Your Resort, back with another vlog. You are welcome. I started off with a quick bite to eat in the lounge and a glass of wine, and off we went. This is my first time visiting Corfu. I've been to a few Greek islands before, so I was excited to see what this one was like, and this time I was going with my sisters, so we wanted somewhere adults only, child free and chilled out. We travelled at the start of October, hoping for sunny skies, but when we arrived, this was not the one. Thankfully, it started to clear up by the time we got to the hotel. We just jumped in a taxi. It was about 20 minutes. I can't remember how much it cost, but it wasn't a lot. This resort is part of the Cook's Club brand. They've got a few resorts around the Med, but this is my first time visiting one, and I was excited. First impressions of the hotel were really good. It's got like a whole chilled out, boho, boutique-y vibe to it. It's quite a small resort, so it's kind of got an intimate vibe. You don't have to be wandering around ages to find what you want across the resort, but it did have everything we needed. Right, let's get into it. We stayed in a panoramic comfort room. There was 3 of us staying, and it was a little snug, but it was absolutely fine for the 3 of us. The room was set up with a big king-size bed and a single, so no one had to sleep on a sofa bed, which is always a good start. It's an open plan layout for the bathroom, so the sink is just behind the bed. Just bear in mind that the doors to the loo and the shower are kind of semi-opaque, so if you're staying with somebody that you're not super close to, just bear that in mind. There are my sisters waiting for me to film the content before they go in and make a mess. In the room, you've got a safe and also some nice fluffy bathrobes and slippers. There's also a tea and coffee making station. You only get a little bit of milk, so I kept having to pinch some from the buffet. There is a fridge. It had some water in, but it is not restocked, so just remember that if you like drinks in your room, you're going to have to bring them up. The view from the balcony was lush. It overlooked the pool and also the mountain. So back downstairs, this is the main lobby area and bar. This is where they hold evening entertainment. The resort is based on a feel-free, all-inclusive concept. So this means you can get a pretty decent selection of drinks on the all-inclusive, lots of cocktails, mixers and spirits and beers, coffees, soft drinks, etc. If you do want something that's not on the all-inclusive menu, then you will have to pay extra. I was a bit gutted when I found out pina coladas were not on the all-inclusive menu, but they're only about €4 each, so I could deal with that. Very important to me is the standard of the fizz. This was good fizz, and it was also served in the correct glass on the poolside, which is another big tick for me. Right, let's go for lunch. In the main buffet, there's a big selection of salads and desserts that you can help yourself to. But then for your main dishes, it is a la carte, which is really nice. You order off a QR code and the food gets brought out to your table. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds with a bit of a la carte and a bit of buffet. In the spirit of research purposes only, I did try a big selection of the cocktails. The first was a Hugo that was excellent. This was like a rum-based cocktail. I think it was called a passion fruit jungle or a passion jungle. It was very good. This was a classic gin bramble, served poolside, absolutely delicious. Then it was time for tea. Again, a selection of kind of semi-buffet items that you could just go and help yourself to. But then again, you had the QR code to order your main dishes. The evening menu a la carte options were really good. There was calamari, there was pizzas, pastas, and you can enjoy the all-inclusive drinks at the bar in the restaurant too. This was one of the dishes we had for tea. It was called sheep on a skewer, which didn't sound good, but it was absolutely unreal. And then we finished with the nightcap. There's the pina colada. It cost me €4. I wasn't mad about it. It was actually really, really good. And this is the pool all lit up at night. Absolutely stunning. I was ready for a early night and our first full day at the resort. First things first, a cup of coffee on the balcony. Oh, that view was just absolutely stunning. We decided to get ourselves up and head to the gym. This was the gym. It was giving tree house vibes. It's only a small gym, but it does have everything you need, and it was nice and quiet when we went. It's got the usual selection of cardio equipment, free weights, and a couple of weight machines as well. There's also a yoga pavilion that we used for our own little circuit training, but they do hold classes there as well. Right, this time we tried the poolside snack bar for lunch, and this was the one. The food was absolutely amazing. Again, cooked fresh, made to order. Oh, it was absolutely outstanding. The Corfu weather was not giving, so we decided to go to the spa and have a massage. The massages were absolutely amazing, 10 out of 10. Then for dinner, we headed back to the main restaurant. This was fish and chips. It was pretty decent. The pizzas were really, really good. They've got a full traditional stone bake set up there, so the pizza's top notch. This is the second pool in the resort. It's a bit further up. It doesn't have the views, but it's really nice and quiet. Alongside the main restaurant, there are also 2 evening a la carte restaurant options too. We decided to try the Smoke Grill restaurant, which is an extra charge, but was worth every penny. As you do with an open kitchen, I had a little nosy to see what dishes were going out before we made our selection. And there are 2 menu options here. I think one of them might have been included. And then if you wanted a more expensive kind of premium option, you'd had to pay extra. There was also a really good wine selection. Again, that is not included as part of the all-inclusive, but you know, YOLO. Anyway, we got a few selection of starters. The shrimp tacos were absolutely incredible, possibly one of my favourite dishes of the holiday. We then tried to balance out all the food with some veg. This was corn on the cob and some broccoli, both really nice, but on to the main selection. I can't remember for the life of me what these 2 steaks were. One of them might have been a T-bone. Anyway, they were both unreal, cooked to perfection and worth every single penny. We also got a side of mac and cheese, which is never something I would normally order, but this was unreal. We then pretended for about 3 seconds that we were too full for pudding, but then had pudding. And then finished off with this kumquat aperitif. Apparently that's like a local thing, so when in Rome. Back down at the lobby, there was a bit of a disco night going on, and yeah, the tunes were good. There were vibes. We stayed out, had some drinks. We only stayed for 3 nights, which was a great time for a little girly break. We were a bit unlucky with the weather, but that is not something that I am able to influence, but it definitely wouldn't stop me coming back. I loved the hotel. I loved the relaxed vibe. Really enjoyed the all-inclusive concept and would definitely recommend for an adults-only getaway, a girls' getaway, a honeymoon. So yeah, loved it. Any questions, just drop a comment.